Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek X6 Chic, and we're here on Aisha Watches Anime. We're back with another reaction to Hell's Paradise. We're on season 2, episode 3, which is called Immutability and Change. So the last episode, we had the conclusion of the pretty huge fight right out of the gate between Gabby Maru and I just keep calling him Ponytail. But anyhow, we see that my poor girl May had to step in because Gabby Maru was about to basically take himself out, and she ended up sending Ponytail into a crevasse, and they had to knock Gabby Maru out because he was still kind of feral. And then they ended up reuniting. The group, Gabby Maru and his group, ended up reuniting with Sagiri and her group. And like I predicted, Sagiri immediately recognized that Gabby Maru is not okay and that he must not remember who he is. And it turns out that her Tao is compatible with Gabby Maru's, and she was able to transfer some of her Tao in to actually heal him, but also just to get him to get his head back on straight. So he now has his memory back, and he's back to being effectively his old self. And they're basically on the mission where Gabby basically said, listen, we can't leave the island until we get the elixir of life, because if I go back as is, they're just gonna kill me. So, and also he found out about the fact that his wife might be a big made up illusion by his master, but he said, listen, whether it's true or not, I can't discover it here. So we gotta finish the mission so I can go home and get my freedom and figure out what's what. All right, out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. Didn't even hear him come up, did you? Ooh, you're not fast enough. Oh, he's faster with the healing, though. Way faster than before. Oh, you really don't want to pique these guys' interest, I've found. That means they're going to want to play with you. But you know what? I'm going to say this for Ponytail. He's not the guy who's easily played with, because the first Tensei that underestimated him ended up being his little drag-around toy. So... Ew. Huh. Does she need her elixir of life? Oh, I suppose I thought he was going to ask if he could dissect her. And Mr. Barkface can't talk anymore. Shorty Maru. He is short. Oh, he wants to train. Okay. It does take all of y'all. Yeah, he's like, I need someone who actually not gonna hold back. Okay. Man woman? Wow. He just has long hair. Relax. Yeah, you need to figure out a middle ground. There you go. Smart boy. Nice. That would hurt if it connected. Ooh, okay. He is. Okay, he's a fast learner. Don't underestimate her. Let's see what she's got. It probably is. Okay. If you can do that, that would be the way to channel the Tao that they've got, because they got more than you. He might. I think that's why they need to be worried. I mean, do you have a better idea? Stop crying. Oh, that's the right question to ask, actually. Yeah, he doesn't want to be a burden to his brother anymore. He's like, you will not call me a man woman again. Yeah, he's like, I respect. Fair. Oh man, I actually like the hair. You could have wrapped that up, sold it. Be a nice little, at least 20-inch bust down. Oh, you want to be your brother now? Got your little ponytail. I respect it.
こいつらを殺すのは後でいい。
Sure, sure.
僕が助けに行くよ。兄さん。
Oh, babes, your brother don't need saving. One thing about him,
人間をターンへと変質させるワイタンファ。
normally,
お前のターンはそれに侵食されながらも自我を保っている。とても珍しい。
he's got a very strong sense of self. Can you hit all those at once? Okay, he fast. Run faster!
体中に根が張っていく感覚。こいつに意識を奪われぬよう集中しろ。
Okay, well, if he can learn to take care of that, then he'll be like Gabby Maru, just in a different way.
速度も威力も完全に人の域を超えてい
You
る。
haven't figured out that he's not okay?
まだある。
Yeah? Okay. So cute that you think so. You couldn't even finish Gabby.
ワイタンファのターンを解放してなお、それを制御している。
Mm-hmm.
こんな例は見たことがない。
Yeah, he's not simple.
つもりだったが、この目で確かめたくなってな。美しい。
Not the blush. Oh my god, you might become this man's lover. Look out.
研究せねば。
That's what I thought. You're about to be an experiment, pal. Maybe you are gonna need. Yeah, remember you're at your limit. Yeah, maybe you are gonna end up needing rescuing after all. Ooh, that was
眠れ。
personal. They might feed you some of that elixir of life, though. You never know. I don't think they want you to die yet.
必ず戻る。
That's sad.
壊れる。
So he's losing a piece of himself every time. Oh, kinky.
単になる過程でタオが混じり合い、人としてのタオが勝った。奇跡だ。1000年間でも見たことがない。
Well, y'all don't get out much.
急に下がったか。
いいや違う。防虫術だ。
Oh,
お前と私のタオを循環させて、
okay.
弱ったタオの回復にもなる。
循環。
タオには
Yeah.
それぞれ属性
That's what they call it.
木、火、土。
Okay, well, she's teaching him. It's more than Gabby Maru's getting. Mind you, he would never be down for the Bochijutsu at all.
防虫術は互いの調和がなければ効果が薄い。
See, would never work with Gabby Maru then.
望みの作法はあるか？
My guy was like, okay, I should have had this happen earlier.
大陸のとある高名な法師。彼は新鮮思想に基づき不老不死を研究していました。
Mm-hmm.
道教では
I still think he's on the island, actually.
継ぎ替え、試行錯誤を繰り返し不死を目指した。
Which explains those ugly Tensen that are the low levels.
人間が叶うはずがない。ただ一つの方法を除いて。
Don't say Bochijutsu.
タオですね。
Okay.
で、その超人たちはなんでこんな島に引きこもってんの？
Why would they go out? Humans are kind of ew.
例えば、その薬など作る試みを外炭法という。
Okay.
先様はこれを作っているそうです。
Mm.
戦薬じゃん。やっぱあるの？
Effectively.
命を蜜のごとく集め、他を、すなわち生命力を効率よく摂取する。天仙様も単で命を長らえてい
So
る。
it's not a true elixir of life, but it is.
短時間で急激に他を失えば
Mm-hmm.
死ぬ。
でも、今のタンでも天仙様には十分なんでしょ？
Yeah, but it's got to be running out.
修復法師の意志。誰？
天仙様やこの島を作った法師です。
That's the name he gave them anyway.
真の時代は始皇帝に仕え、不老不死を求めて、3000の使者と100の技術者を連れて、東方の海へと旅立ち、その後行方知れずとな。
Why children? What they do?
まだ島のどこかで研究を
That's what I don't think he did. I think he's still very much alive.
各々に実験上の目的がある。
I think they were trial and error.
一人であり別人でもある。家族であり、私自身だ。
Hmm.
そんな簡単にできんのか。
Apparently.
塵のようにあまねく充満し、世のすべてを形作る。
Damn, this guy is going to be unstoppable when he gets out of here. He's getting so much information that would be very helpful to Gabby Maru. I think Gabby Maru will figure it out, but just saying.
俺を使って研究して、
Yes.
島にいる人間すべて戦薬にするつもり
Yes.
か。
いいや。
Oh.
何？
そのための準備は整っている。
I was wondering that at some point they're gonna have to get more people.
最も賢い選択案なんだ。
You know he's not doing anything without his
今
brother
の俺じ
though.
ゃこいつをやるのは無理だ。優先すべきはなんだ。
Just like Gabby and his wife, it's you and your brother, huh?
それでタオが使いこなせるようになるならな。
He's like, well, if it's gonna help me
上に乗られ
get
んのは
better,
趣味じゃねえな。
心配するな。
I guess I'll have sex with you.
適合して飲み込んでやる。待ってろ、トーマ。
Wait for you. You gonna explain to your brother you were out here banging Tencent instead of trying to find him?
不完全。他を使うと血が進む。
Oh, that's why the tree guy didn't want him to use your towel.
家に丹田廃種壊されたから修風草子に作られた最初の弟子
Oh, you're the first.
たくさん殺した
So-called friends.
蓬莱から逃げた
やはりそうだったか。
Oh, it's going fast.
私のタオを使うといい。天仙様はタオを自在に操る。
Mm.
でもそれでは宝庫
He'll
様
be
いい
gone.
んだ。め、私はもうすぐ熟
Right, I mean, I hate it, but he's already pretty much gone.
そしてついにその時が来た。
But he said, wait!
年格好が似てただけ。本当は分かっていた。彼女が何か異質な存在だということ。本当は島を出たがっていること。
Could you live a normal life though, May?
どうか許してほしい。私は
No.
君ではなく娘を見ていた。数百年も私の嘘に未練に付き合わせた。
Did you make her though?
家みたいだった
Yeah, I think she needed that. That's why she's helping the humans now. They're like, what is happening? Damn, even her tears be raining upwards. Oh, that's the way he would have wanted to go, in fairness.
レオは
Sad. But as I said, that is exactly the way he would want to go, though.
情はわかるけど、でも本音を言えばあのまま肩に乗せなかった。
Right?
あとは残るかもしれませんが。
ありがとう。
礼はいいです。信じてない。
Nah.
私とガビマルで話し合い、今後のことを決めてみたんだが。
Mhm.
おいこら猫丸、なんでお前が決めて
Cat Maru now, not Shorty Maru.
どうした誰か来た
Oh, she.
すごく大きい多い
I didn't think she. Oh, wow, because of the Tao. Okay.
でもすごく強い
Okay. Okay. Well, that was episode 3. And I don't know, that one felt a little longer. It probably wasn't, but it definitely felt longer than the regular. Anyway, this episode, we got kind of both parties. Right? We got to see Ponytail there as well as the rest of the group. The rest of the group was probably one of the shorter sides of the episode, but basically Gabimaru is basically back to normal and he wants to learn a little bit more about how to properly use Tao in such a way that he doesn't use too much so that he becomes so imbalanced that what happened before happens again, but also to figure out what he needs to do to boost himself. Because like he said, that guy, Ponytail, almost took him out. Like he's like, that would, you know, even though he, of course, Gabby was not in his right mind, but even if he had been, when he was in that crazy, you know, what would you call it, zombie state, Gabby would have had a hard time keeping up with him. So long story short, Gabby now knows unequivocally he needs Tao to beat the Tencent, but he can't give in and use as much Tao as say the Tencent do. The Tencent can access way more than he can, and he has to accept that. He's like, I can't. If I try to use Tao the way they do, it'll kill me. So he decided to test the limits of what he could do now that he has a better sense of like how Tao works and how it flows as far as his body. And I really love that he challenged. He's like, everybody commit me. And they're all like, aren't you being a little cocky? And I'm like, respectfully, even without the Tao, Gabby could take all of you. Like, maybe I'll how messed just the last episode or the one before, even though the Gabby was not even all there and he still made a fire so hot he would have incinerated all of you at once? Stop playing with him, okay? He's a little short, but he's a lot. So yeah, he decided to use all of them to practice, and we see that he's picking up very quickly. Like, considering that if we're using his showtime, it's only been a few days earlier that he figured out how Tao somewhat worked. He's already somewhat of a master, right? So I really like that the guy, the blind trainer, was like, it's actually crazy. Like, I am starting to understand now why Gabby was so feared. Like, he is at a different level than I think any of us gave him credit for. So anyway, Gabby's like, okay, I think I figured out, like, if I can't use the Tao myself, it looks like I can actually use your Tao and redirect that. Like, instead of me being the one to use and put it through me, I will be like the conductor who will use your own Tao against you. So like, basically, I think that's also a principle in a lot of martial arts as well, as redirection versus actually expending your own efforts. So I think it's a good plan. Whether or not it'll work, because all these people he was practicing with are regular humans, we'll have to see. But I think the theory at least has legs as far as what they should be trying to do. And even if he can't do it by himself, maybe other people can help him, because I do think the blind person, I can't remember his name, God, the names will come back to me, guys, but I think he's very good at using Tao, right? I think last season they established that he could use Tao even before he knew the name of it. So anyway, that's what's kind of going on in their camp. We see also that May, now we know why she can't use a lot of her Tao at once. It wasn't just because of the aging, but because we see that apparently she turns into a tree, because they said her body is basically imbalanced because of what the guy who we just saw did to her, right? Like, he banished her, he broke her ovule, which I think all of them are fused with flowers. So that's like the main function, like one of the main parts of their DNA is that ovule, and it was destroyed. So she can still live, but she can't ever use Tao the same way she used to. So anyway, she can take it to somewhat heal herself, like she can absorb and put it into herself, but it looks like she can't just draw from the Tao around her to heal herself the way the other people do. So anyway, because that happened and she was basically going to be a tree in a matter of, looks like, minutes at that rate, we see that her father figure basically said, look, I'm on my last legs anyways, take my Tao and you can use it to bring yourself back. And she didn't want to do it, but we got a little backstory on, they talked a lot about, he talked a lot about their relationship last season, but this is a little bit more intimate and just basically explaining why he raised her as his daughter and why he looked at her that way and how they got into this pattern that they're in. And then he basically said that, the reason he's not so sad to give up the last of his Tao to her now is because he's like, you should have, you wanted to leave. Like, you escaped from the other Tencent because you wanted to get away from the sickness of this experiment and you want to leave the island, and I probably could have helped you do that. And instead, I took you home and played house, right? So, was it a bit selfish? Yes. But did she need it? I think she did, because I think the reason she's here, again, helping Gabimaru, helping these guys, teaching them what she can about Tao and the Tencent, etc., is because she learned to be more human because of this guy. So anyway, kind of a sad moment, but like I said, the homie was he was basically saying in the last episode or a couple episodes ago that he knew his time of consciousness was going to leave him anyway. So this was a noble sacrifice, and at least he got to go out the way he wanted instead of just eventually fully becoming a piece of wood. So he's gone. She's reverted back into her childlike state, so at least she's going to be safe for now. But again, she's someone who's very useful because her knowledge of the Tencent is basically the only map that they're going to have outside of Gabimaru just having a real smart knack for figuring this stuff out. Also, the creepy Asamon who wants to study them all as well. I think between them, they'll be able to figure out something to take down these Tencent. And then on the other side, we had Ponytail. He went up against one of, looks like the guy that May was talking about. And at first, he was just like trying to see what was going on because he realized Ponytail was different. But then after seeing Ponytail like reach into the overusing his Tao again, he was like, okay, actually, this is very interesting. Like, this is unique. We haven't seen anything like this before. I'm going to take you back and study you. So that's exactly what he did. And while he had Ponytail captive, he's not really holding anything back. Like, Ponytail was asking all kinds of questions, and he was like, I'll answer anything you want. Doesn't matter, because in his mind, Ponytail ain't never leaving. So he's either going to stay there as an experiment till they wear him out, or they, in his mind, in the Tencent's mind, he's either going to experiment on him until there's nothing left, or like he said, I'll let you join as long as you don't get in our way. I'll actually give you some Tao, not Tao. What's the drink? I can't remember the name of the drink, but he's like, I'll give you that, and then you'll be immortal effectively. So through that, Ponytail was able to learn quite a bit. Like I said, like all this knowledge would be so helpful for Gabimaru and his group, but yeah, Ponytail's getting it all. And even though I think he doesn't get all the nuances, he's figured out the general gist of of kind of the stuff that Gabby, Maru, and Ko know already, that it's the Tensen were created by one man. They're constantly researching how they can continue to perfect this immortality thing. They're not 100% there yet, hence why they have the tan. That's what it's called. That's why they have the tan. The tan is really just a band-aid solution though, because eventually they have to keep taking it in is the point. So are they really immortal if they have to keep creating tan to keep immortal, right? So it looks like the research is to figure out a way so that they no longer have to consume tan. They'll just be naturally immortal. So that's kind of the research that's continuing. And as I said before in the episode, I still think that the OG scientist who created them is still there on the island somewhere. He just keeps a low profile, so low that even the other Tensen don't know where he is. So yeah, effectively we see that that Tensen said to Ponytail, here's your option. You either do Bochujutsu with me so I can understand and study your Tao, or effectively I'll find other ways to study you that'll be far less pleasant. So anyway, Ponytail agreed to do it because A, he's a dude, let's be real. And and secondly, as we saw, like he was weighing his options. He's like, I can't fight and I can't flight. So if this is what I got to do, then let's just do it and see where I can get, or at least wait till a time where I'm healed enough where I can attempt to make an escape. But so yeah, as I said, while he's out getting freaky, his brother is out there trying to train to become a better swordsman. So ain't live a bitch like that sometimes. But yeah, that was pretty much the episode. And then we see at the end, we got a little end credit scene of Gabby Maru just saying like, yeah, we got to come up with a plan of what we're going to do so that we can, you know, basically not go in as half-cocked and crazy as we did last season trying to take down the Tensen. And in the middle of their plans, the crew that we saw back in episode 1 has made landfall. So we just got a few more players because I think everyone else is gone, right? Everyone else from the original expedition is dead except for Gabby Maru and his crew, and of course Ponytail. So yeah, a fresh amount of people on the island, and some of them who already know about the lower Tensen, right? Which is what we saw them facing up against on the beach. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I'll see you in the next one.